coming in, and it is that Democrats on the
Okay,
House...
hold on. I know this guy. He's super. I have no idea who this man is. I do. He's super famous. He's like super intelligent. He's a genius. He's like a public speaker. I cannot tell you his name. Noam Chomsky. Noam Chomsky.
Oversight Committee in the United States have done what they said they were going to do, which is to continue to release details from the Epstein files. A number of photographs have been released, a number of what appear to be copies of passports, one passport from
Bill
the
Gates.
Russian Federation, heavily redacted, visa details, pictures of Bill Gates, Steve Bannon in another photograph. And so it's all coming out right now. It is what they said they would do. And of course, they're trying to reach a point where Donald Trump agrees to release the entire files. And it was said that that could happen on Friday, tomorrow. We wait to see about that. Correspondent James Matthews joins me from Washington. And, well, there's a lot to go through, James, but this is the Democrats doing what they said they were going to do.
That's right, Mark. Of course, we still await the full release of thousands of Epstein files. And as you say, the deadline for that is tomorrow. In the meantime, the Democrats have issued several dozen photographs, and we're looking at them there, which on first sight certainly don't indicate any criminality. I mean, in terms of the content, we've seen some pictures of some individuals that actually have appeared in previous releases. Bill Gates, we've seen Woody Allen, we've seen Steve Bannon sitting across a desk from Jeffrey Epstein. There are passports, as you say, with names redacted from a number of countries, Russia, Czechoslovakia, the passports of women. There is a passport.
Hold on, what is this? Love of other, love of my life? What? Okay, hold on. What is this, guys? What is even this? Okay, I wanted to, bro, I cannot read doctor's handwritings, guys. Official response, I love it. What is this, bro?
Passport of Jeffrey Epstein, and on one passport page, the words are stated, the bearer was convicted of as offence. There are writings, words written on what appear to be the body of at least one female, references to the book Lolita, which of course is about a man who had an infatuation with a girl. Quotes like, she was Dolly at school, she was Lola in slacks. We've seen pictures, we saw them there, Noam Chomsky, the academic, the essayist, on what appears to be a private jet sitting alongside Jeffrey Epstein. There is a picture of a packet of used to treat a urinary infection. Jeffrey Epstein in the company of women. One photo shows him in the company of 3 young women. There is a map of Great St. James, Jeffrey Epstein's island. The question would be, of course, the central question in all of this for many is what is in the remaining files that links Jeffrey Epstein to Donald Trump, the former friends? Is there anything that we have yet to learn about Donald Trump and his association with Epstein that we don't already know? I have to say, in the files that we're looking at now, actually, I haven't seen any Donald Trump content, so no indication about anything at all to do with the president. I suppose we have to wait for the full release to take a judgment on that. That full release has to take place in some shape or form by tomorrow, but what we're seeing today is Democrats on this House Oversight Committee. Remember, Republicans have the majority. They are in control, but the Democrats, who are frustrated at the lack of a full release, they are releasing what is in their possession and within their ability to put into the public domain. And that's what we're seeing now. Several dozen pictures and documents released while we wait the full publication.
And James, is Donald Trump still under pressure from people in the MAGA movement, for instance, who have long wanted all the files released?
I'm sure, absolutely.
He absolutely is, Mark. Remember, Donald Trump was a man who campaigned to get back into the White House largely on the basis of publication of the full Epstein files. That's a drum that he was beating for long enough, and now in office, he has been the individual standing for so long in the way of publication. He buckled under pressure, signed an order basically saying that they should be released in full, and that order dictates that that has to take place by tomorrow. I think it's midnight tomorrow, local time, Mark, but there is a degree of mystery. The Department of Justice is controlling this process, and they've given no indication when publication will take place, or indeed if we will see publication in full. Much speculation among Democrats, certainly, that there will be something of a fudge with redactions that essentially dilute the content, which, you know, for the sake of the protection of guilty parties whose names and activities are included within them. So still a degree of mystery about what the contents will be. But of course, the central question is, as I say, what was the association between Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein? What have we not heard? We know they were friends through the 80s, 90s. We know that they fell out because Jeffrey Epstein was luring female staff away from Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago to go and work for him. They also fell out over a property deal. So that kind of detail and that a degree of association is already in the public domain. Donald Trump emphatically denies any criminality and any knowledge of Jeffrey Epstein's criminal behavior. The question will be, do these Epstein files, when they are released in full, tell us any different? On first sight of today's release.
Okay, no, I don't think so. Like, listen, guys, when it comes down to all of this, right? I personally believe Donald Trump, like how, for example, how everyone wanted to kind of be around him because he was like the it man, he was the money man, he was the guy that represented money. He was on like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, right? All of the rappers loved him. He was in Home Alone, right? Everyone just when you thought of someone who was super rich and powerful and like the it guy of the 80s and 90s, right? You would think immediately Donald Trump, right? Obviously, things changed mentally for people when he ran for politics, but that's basically kind of what it was, right? And I think Epstein was pretty much the same person, right? But I think less known in like the circles of like the regular normies who didn't own an island, right? That's what I'm saying here. I think Trump was more public and wanted to be more public, but specifically, Epstein just didn't want to be as public as Donald Trump. And I think that this is probably why we're also now seeing all of these people around this man. That's kind of the vibe, at least here. Yeah, bro, I lost interest in this whole thing a long time ago. You say months? Bro, I was over it month 2 of hearing his name. Like when they found him in the cell, I was like, okay. And I moved on, bro. I was like, this man is a monster, right? I get it. He's a monster. So why are we still talking about him like 5 years later, bro? That's kind of what's happening here. Just like with all of the people who kind of renounced Trump after he became president, but yet they were all in all of the images and all these images are being shown. Bro, you're talking about an it guy, a guy who everyone wanted to be around. All the women wanted him because he had money, right? All of the guys wanted to be him because he was the money man, right? Like this is what we're talking about. So even with all of these images, it's like, okay, guys, okay, we found Noam Chomsky sitting on a private plane with Jeffrey Epstein. Everyone wanted to be around him. Bro had an island, right? But he also was a monster. So right? I think he definitely deserved his demise. All right, and I definitely wish, for the sake of the people that were kind of victimized by him, that we could eventually get to the point where we can kind of move on from this here. The images are doing nothing for me because, again, it's just like when all Trump's images started popping up, and it was just like, oh, look, this famous actor who now hates Trump, okay, has an image with him. Yeah, everyone wanted to be around him, bro. He was the guy, right? Like, he was the guy. Him and again, just to kind of reiterate this point here, I think Epstein was also the guy, but did not have any interest in like letting everyone know he was actually like the main benefactor behind things. He had an island, okay? He had an island, okay? Just like, do I have to say more to that, bro? Guys, do you want to watch movies with me? I never actually thought to like promote it over here, guys. But if you guys do want to watch it, guys, we have hundreds of movies, and I mean hundreds of movies that we've reacted to. You guys can come watch them with me if you want to, along with many TV shows. Currently, we're working on the show Dexter, along with Vikings, and we have a lot of series that are already completed. But if you guys do want to watch it with me, the link is in the description. Everything's available at the second tier. But of course, if that's not your thing, guys, don't worry. Right? Listen, like and subscribe.